Damagu is the biggest problem that we have in the party. Bala, as the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, who would have guided him, is not doing his job. I think PDP is still in the ICU.
It's a fact that Wike is more powerful than the party. You can disprove my fact, but for me, that's the fact out there.
Because politicians move like water. If we block this side, they must move the other side.
By all accounts, Gabriel Suswam's recent outpost is more than just political frustration. It's a diagnosis, a wake-up call, and perhaps an introduction to what might become the final collapse of the once dominant People's Democratic Party, PDP. When a former governor and ranking party elder declares that PDP is still in the ICU, we cannot afford to ignore the implications. Suswam did not mince words. In a rare moment of political honesty, he laid bare the eternal rot that has consumed the PDP from within. The target of his outrage, not just the perennial party agitator, Nyesom Wike, but more importantly, the party's own leadership, those entrusted with holding the fragile house together. He called them out for striking secret deals. In his words,
what has happened to PDP basically is that of leadership, lack of capacity on the part of the leadership of the party. How can people, they have held secret meeting, the FCT minister mentioned it. He said there was a meeting in Lagos, he was invited, they had agreement in Lagos. There was another meeting in Abuja, in the house of a former Senate president, where those agreements were consolidated. If you are sincere to the people, and when we were called, former governors and current governors, about 2 weeks ago to a meeting, none of this was before us. Nobody knew that there were secret meetings where agreement was reached with the FCT minister.
These are not just the words of a man who is simply angry. They are the words of a party insider who has watched the PDP self-destruction through silence, sabotage, and shameful opportunism. Suswam did not shy away from confirming that multiple meetings were held with Wike, one in Lagos and another in Abuja, when critical decisions were allegedly reached. Here's the brutal truth. Suswam's criticism is not really about Wike. In fact, he defended Wike to some extent, saying,
"It is not Atiku, it's not Wike. PDP acting national chairman Damagu is one of those people. The PDP Governors Forum chairman is one of the problems because they have not been straight with us."
That's a profound statement. It shifts the blame from the so-called troublemaker to those who should be setting the agenda, managing disputes, and fostering unity. Instead, what do we see? Weak leadership, secret negotiations, and a complete disregard for consensus. And the fallout is showing. Party members are defecting.
And so the leadership of the party, both at the level of the governors and at the National Working Committee, have not been straight. And so we'll continue to have this problem until they come out straight, which I believe at this stage, a lot of people are highly disenchanted and disgruntled. And that is why you see people gravitating towards anything that comes, because politicians move like water. If we block this side, they must move the other side. So if we block them in PDP, they must find a way to move to any other place.
Even the party's national secretariat was recently seized over unpaid rent, a symbolic image of a party that has lost control of its finances, its house, and its future. Suswam's revelation confirmed what Nigerians already suspect. PDP is no longer a functional political machine. It's a house divided, clinging to past glories while failing to offer any credible opposition to the ruling APC. And without a strong opposition, Nigerian democracy becomes weaker by default. The fact that Southeast stakeholders were ignored during the alleged Wike agreement speaks volumes about the internal ethnic and regional imbalances within the PDP. A party that once prided itself on national inclusiveness. Suswam was clear. The Southeast has made their nomination for the national secretary, yet the leadership moved behind closed doors to offer the same position to Wike's camp without consultation. If this is how reconciliation is handled within the PDP through betrayal and secrecy, then there is little hope for true reform. The implications are grave. Wike's continued influence, unchecked by weak party, could spell further division, while honest voices like Suswam's may eventually walk away altogether. Gabriel's son has done what many in PDP are too afraid to do: speak the truth. His speech is a mirror to a party in denial. Unless the leadership acts fast to restore trust, involve all stakeholders, and establish collective decision-making, the PDP may not just remain in the ICU, it may never wake up. And for Nigeria, that means another election cycle where the opposition is too broken to challenge the status quo. A tragedy for democracy, a disaster for the people.